Welcome, 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 welcome. So thank you so much for being here with me today. Harvest Family Finance. Today we are talking about your feels are keeping you broke. Your feels are keeping you broke. Now, like I always say, if you have never joined us here, I am all about what I'm saying to you is saying it to myself because this is a journey I believe that you continue on. But also I cannot say that I have arrived at this whole finance thing, but I'm always learning and I'm always feeling and I always want women to win with the money. So I share my stories, I share my revelations with you all so that hopefully it sows seeds into your lives that will help you to prosper financially, that will help you manage your budgets better, manage your money better. That will help you win. I've got a four M mastery framework that I base everything that I do, which is mind, make, manage, and multiply. And I tend to really stay in there in the mind one because that's where it all starts and finishes. It's not about the amount of money that you make. Um, it's not about the income that you have. It's about how you manage your money, how you manage your money, how your mind works with regards to money. And this is why the mind part is really important. Last month on Lunch and Learn, we talked about, because it was the month of love, I thought let's spin it a little bit. And it was about loving yourself enough. And that is to do with really investing in yourself, in your mind, in how you think about money, in how you are feeling, in your general well-being, because all of those things have an effect on your money. Your money, they really do. So today we are still on the M of mindset because it's such an important one. And what came to me this week, really, well, in the last couple of weeks, how we arrived to this particular topic was just what I realized about myself was that I've spent the past 2 years having real personal issues, emotionally, and that were really, I was struggling with my mental health. I really was. And as a result of that, what I found is that I wasn't moving. I wasn't moving with this thing that God had told me and given me to do. And this thing is like being here with you guys. This thing is about financial education for women to be able to empower women to rise up, to be able to empower women to rebuild their finances, to be able to empower women to know more about how to manage their finances in the best way possible for them to win. For me to be able to help women to make generational wealth so that their children's children will know that there was but in a good way, right? So I started to really reflect and said, and actually understood that because of all these feelings and emotions that I was going through, and they're all, very real things, right? Very necessary things in terms of there was grief in there was problems at work, real big problems at work that were causing me stress and burnout. There's a lot going on. But all of that led to me not moving in purpose. All of that led to me not being able to put in the time and the work into this ministry, into this work. And that just really dawned on me that actually the reason why I stay not winning with this money game is because I'm inconsistent. I'm inconsistent because I'm always dealing with some kind of emotion. There's always something, somewhere, somehow, something that's going on with my emotions, with my life. Therefore, the money always ends up losing. Now, this is why I said it was really important that I started to understand that I'm never gonna make it. I'm gonna stay broke if I keep listening to these emotions. The thing that came to me is that I'm setting myself up to fail by being led by my emotions. So I'm setting up myself to fail by being led by emotions. Now, don't get me wrong. Emotions are real. They're necessary and they need to be carefully handled. There's counseling, there is prayers, if you're that way inclined. There's a lot of things that you can do, but what you cannot do is allow them to stop you from moving, allow them to stop you from doing the things that you should be doing, allow them to dictate what goes on around with your time. And emotions have a beautiful way of stealing your time. You're spending hours just sitting there, not able to move. You haven't done anything. You're sleeping. You're spending. And this is one of the biggest things that we have as women, particularly. One of our biggest issues is emotional spending. Now, your feelings are making you buy things that you don't need to do and dragging you away from your goals. Your feelings are not allowing you to push yourself in the workplace to get that promotion, to be able to gain the skills that you need. Your feelings are not allowing you to gain the mastery in whatever area that you should be gaining mastery to create income streams. Your emotions are just playing with you, and they're not allowing you to be the best version of yourself. And it's time to really stop and take stock of that and understand that this is real and this is something that can stop you from moving forward in all ways. These rest days, these I'm going to stay in my couch pajamas and sleep days, they're essential. Rest is essential. You'll see me again and again talking about how the essentialness of rest. It is important. But if you are resting 6 days out of 7, I think you've got a problem there, right? If you keep buying, oh, I feel this way, let me just buy this thing, and every day there's an Amazon or an other shop purchase that you're doing, that's stopping you. Every week you've got something that you're buying because you deserve it, because you feel like it, because you feel sad. That's stopping you. Every day you're eating junk food and comfort foods because of your feelings, but it's stopping you from being the healthiest version of yourself, the version that strives to do the absolute most and achieve the absolute most. All of these things are keeping you broke because they stop your productivity, they stop you from being the best version of yourself, and that best version is productive, that best version is creative, that best version is able to do exceedingly abundantly more than you have imagined, because you've got clarity, because you've got vision, because you've got strength, because you just have this absolute amount of energy to do work. Because listen, motivational quotes are going to be there forever. You're going to read them, you're going to see them, or you're going to, follow, like, and all that. That's all gravy. But actually, if you're not actually doing the work that's required after that, then it's nothing. Discipline is required. You are going to need the kind of discipline that when you don't feel like it, you get up. You get up, you do that proposal, you do that video that you need to do, you write whatever you need to write for the book that you're writing, you do all the things that you actually need to do, but that requires discipline. A kind of discipline that says, today I don't feel like it, but I'm going to do it anyway. Why doesn't motivation work sometimes? Because also, you can be motivated all you like. You can read all the books, listen to all the podcasts, like, follow, share, all of it. But without actually putting that into action, there's nothing that you're doing. You are just literally wasting your time. You need to put action into place. And that action, and a lot of the days, requires way more than motivation. It requires a discipline that is beyond you. So it's so important for us to start to really see and, like, be aware of your emotions. What is it? What is causing these emotions? What are your triggers? What are the things that are going on around you? And once you've identified them, it's time to make some plans, make some strategies. How am I going to deal with this thing? Do I need to see a counselor? Do I need to see a therapist? Do I need to stop following someone? Do I need to stop talking to people? Now, on that very issue, relationships. There's some relationships that are keeping you broke. It doesn't have to be platonic. It could be actually your friend, your cousin, your mother, your auntie, whoever. You need to actually check out your relationships. What do your relationships do? Do they grow you? Or do they take away from you? Do they drain you? Do they support your vision? Or are they the ones that are telling you that's a bit crazy, that's a bit out there, or you're too much, or you're too this? Are those relationships making you creative, or they're draining you? Are those relationships encouraging you, or they're making you more fearful. Relationships are very important because your environment that you're in, the soil that you're going to sow your seeds, are so important. That it's the right environment, that it's the right place. You need to be able to discern and really exercise a lot of discernment and wisdom when it comes to the relationships you have around you. Your relationships are either going to grow you, to elevate you, or they're going to bring you down, or to make you even more fearful than you already are. everything, everything that makes you to be great is going to be scary, but you're gonna have to feel the fear and do it anyway. So you have to make sure that you have people around you that are growing you, that are making you absolutely strong, absolutely empowered. You really have to just sense check around you. What relationships do I have? Are these relationships doing me good or not? And some of them are good, but they're not for that season. Some of them were good, but they were for a past season. You really need to take stock of the relationships that you have, because relationships equals emotions, and they will determine whether you're up, down, everywhere. You are, what are you? So really take a look at your relationships, because they have a massive impact on how you feel. And I want you to go out and find solutions to deal with those emotions. As much as the topic is that your feels are keeping you broke, I will say that it is important that you do feel things, but you must address them. You must look at them and see what strategies, what do you need, what treatment do you need, what strategies do you need to be in place to guard your heart and guard your mind, because your heart and your mind are required for you to make it. You're going to need those two things to be in check for you to make it. Those things are what are going to elevate you. Those are the things that are going to make you bold enough and courageous enough to pursue all the streams of incomes that you have been told already. The other thing is that most of us already have what we need to succeed financially. We do. We've got skills. Some are dormant, some are forgotten, some are disregarded, some are not even, recognized. But take a look. You always hear me say, do a skills check. What do you have in your hands? What have you done? List from the very first job you had to the one that you have now, paid and unpaid. What skills can you leverage from those things? What can you leverage to start to create multiple streams of income from these skills and these experiences? Already you have that. But if you're stuck on the feeling of, oh, in that job, that manager was so bad, you're in your fields. But what you failed to see is that in that place, in that job where there was conflict, where the manager you had difficulties with, guess what? You've got conflict resolution. You are now, you know what leaders should do or not do. Therein lies your consultancy. Therein lies the experience. Therein lies an opportunity to make money. But we're so busy in our fields that in our 9 to 5s, where we should be leveraging and maximizing the skills that we're gaining from that place, where our fields are making you feel all these things that are making you unable to see the opportunity that lies right in front of you, the opportunity to have skills, to learn, the opportunities to be sent on courses, the opportunities to do all sorts of things. But your feels keep you in the same place. Feelings are literally there to rob, steal, or kill. If you allow them to dictate how you lead your life, they will rob you, or they will steal from you, or they will kill you. Honestly, they steal your confidence. They rob you of your confidence as well. They rob you of who you are, and they can steal your ambition. They can steal your drive. So you need to make sure that your feelings are in check. You need to be addressing the issues that you have in your life the relationships that you have in your life, you need to be addressing them, setting up systems and structures and boundaries for you to be able to break through and create a space, a runway for you to think clearly, to move effectively, to do what you need to do well. Honestly, as I was having this revelation on consistency, one of the things that came up is that I was tasked in last year to set up systems and processes for Harvard's family finance. And I took that on. I've been trying to do all of that. But on this time, I was also reminded that actually my life needs to have systems and processes. It does. Because once you do, it doesn't have systems in place. Once I don't meal prep, once I don't have a calendar that organizes events that around the house, once I have just a sporadic rota, like routine, it's not gonna work. Systems, checks and balances, you need them in place even in your personal lives so that you're not caught off guard with emotions. It's really important to have routines in your life because those routines and systems are going to allow you not to be led by your emotions. So I ask you, like I had to ask myself, am I setting myself up to fail by being led by my emotions? So it's so important for you to really, first of all, take a look at those things. What are the things that are stopping you? What are the things that are constantly making you to feel a way that makes you spend? Do you need to unfollow some people? Do you need to stop scrolling? Do you need to remove apps on your phone? Do you need to take off the automatic kind of your credit cards and your debit cards from your phone? Do you need to remove them from your phone so that every time you want to make a purchase, you've got one thing that allows you have to actually stand up or go to your purse or go to wherever to find the details? That's already a system. That's already something to help you from stopping a spend. Do you wait until you purchase 48 hours, 24 hours before you make that decision? What systems and processes do you have in place to enable you to do better, not to be led by your emotions? Routines again. If you know that at 12 o'clock on a Friday, every last Friday of the month, as we are here right now, one of the reasons I had to set that up because I found that when I used to say I'll have it once a month without a set time and date, it depended how I was feeling that month. Then I'm like, oh no, I won't do this month. Oh, maybe this month. Oh my gosh, the month is almost over. I haven't felt like doing it or haven't been pushed to do it. So guess what? I had to put it plain. Every last Friday of the month, hook or crook, I'm going to be here. And anyone else is most welcome to join me. But I, for myself, I'm going to be here because you need to understand another thing. This is why we don't depend on our emotions. We don't depend on motivation because sometimes you're going to have to be on this Zoom meeting by yourself. You just talk like everybody's there, like 100 people are there. You're going to have to be by yourself. And if that's going to stop you, if that's going to make you stop doing what you've been called to do, you've got a long way to go because there are going to be times when no one is clapping for you. There are going to be times where literally the whole house is sleeping and you're up working and pushing. There are times where it's not going to make sense even to you. You're wondering, what is it that I'm doing? But you can't allow those emotions to take a hold of you because in those moments of the small, in those moments of no one watching, in those moments where you are working hard, in those moments where you're pushing what feels to be uphill, guess what? Those moments are building you up. They're building consistency. They're building a better version of you. They are building a person who is moving towards their purpose. They are building fruits. Because you sow, there's sowing, there's time, and there's harvest. The sowing isn't anything glamorous. It's not Instagram friendly. It's literally nights where you are on your own, looking rough, but you are grinding. It's doing what no one else wants to do. It's doing what doesn't look like it's making sense. It's doing things like going on a camera and you absolutely cannot stand it, but you are there because you know this is how you're going to get there. This is not waiting for the perfect condition to start. There's no such thing. Go on that camera, start writing, start talking as you are. Yes, sometimes it is what it is. It is who you are. But you have to keep going. You have to keep showing up. You have to keep showing up for yourself. Because with time, what happens is that all of that seed, all of that work will produce a bountiful harvest. And that's how it works, even with your finances. Same thing. You're going to have to invest. And that's investing in stocks and shares, in businesses, in property, in a whole lot of things, in your skills, in yourself. You're going to have to take some time to invest in those things. As you invest in those things, there will come a time. So that's sowing. You're sowing, you're sowing, you're sowing. Time. After time, you will reap the benefits. You will reap a harvest. But if we are letting our emotions eat into all that seed time, eat into that sowing time, eat into that time we should be working, there is no harvest, girl. There's nothing. It's not coming. Nothing's going to happen because nothing is sown. In the same way, if you are spending all your money because of your emotions, emotional spending, emotional eating, emotional purchases, you're not going to save anything. There's nothing to put in a stocks and shares. There's nothing to put in a savings account. There's nothing to put into the business. So it's so important that you take a look at these feelings because they are stopping you in more ways than you realize. You not doing the work, taking time to do the work, means that nothing is getting done. There's no productivity. So if you're writing a book, no words are on the page. If you're trying to set up a business, your product, your service is going nowhere. If you're spending money because of your emotions, your budget is always out of whack. You've got no savings. You've got no money to invest. So you see, the thing about emotions, they honestly will rob, steal, or kill. And it's time for you to have it in check. Because you and I are not, we are not made to be broke. We are made to be wealthy. And this is why it's really important that you take time to understand what these emotions are and start to deal with them. Start to put processes and systems into place, girl, because without those, we are just being led by emotions. I am setting myself up to fail by being led by my emotions. If you have way more emotional days than you have actual days of productivity, guess what you're sowing? More emotional days. Because when you're broke and you can't afford anything, guess what? You're going to have more emotional days because things are not looking the way they should be for you. The math is not mathing, things are not working. It literally multiplies itself. The amount of discipline that you need to have is essential. For the moment, all discipline seems painful rather than pleasant, but later it yields peaceful fruit and righteousness. That's Hebrews 12, verse 11. Now, that verse came up as I was preparing for this, and it just really spoke to me because it was like discipline. It's not always nice. Like I said, I've already mentioned that you're going to be pushing and it's going to be hard. But later it yields a peaceful fruit. That's what even the word of God says. We have got to be disciplined. Self-control. We have got to be self-controlled in the most way. And that self-control comes by not being led by your emotions. And I know it's hard. Listen, I know it's hard. My mentor, my purpose coach here will say some days we set out to do a session on strategy and I ended in tears the whole session. And she's graceful enough to let me be. But afterwards, she'd be like, okay, girl, you have cried, you have felt. Where were we with that process? That's why I'm saying have relationships where there are people that will allow you to cry for a minute. But guess what? After hours, like, nah, wachema. You know, a song came to mind. And someone on this call did a video on it. And actually, it made me laugh so hard because it's a song by, I can't try and remember. But anyway, it says, Adicha Chema, Taku move forward. And sometimes that's what you have to literally say to yourself all the time because emotions will keep coming up. Life is filled with pressures. Life is filled with ups and downs. So if they're always going to be there, you're going to have to work past them. Because if you keep listening to them, I tell you, it's never ending. If it's not this, it's that. It even says in the Bible, there will be a little suffering, but keep going. So please, let's stop listening to our emotions and really get some systems into place, some routines into place to enable us to win. Because our money needs to be told what to do. Our money needs to be a tool, not something that it's using us. Our money is there to be used by us and not the other way around. It's a tool that's meant to get you to grow your wealth, not to be something that you're crying about, not to be something that's making you stressed and depressed. Money is a tool there for you to use, a resource to be able to do the work that you've been called to do, so that you, in the seed time, you're working, you're grafting, but a bountiful harvest will eventually show up. But you can't let your emotions keep you in the same place, keep you in your comfort zone, keep you in a place of no productivity, keep you in a place where you can't move, keep you disheartened, keep you fearful. That's not your portion, girl. That is not for you. You are made for greatness. You are made for abundance. You are made for generational wealth. You are made such that your hands are blessed. But now, if your hands are not moving, how will they be blessed? Right? So we got to get ourselves in systems, in routines, in structured environments, in good relationships for us to move forward, for us to be wealthy, and for us not to set ourselves up to fail because we're being led by our emotions. So that's it for today. I'm so glad you joined us. We're going to have a question and answer session. But before we get there, I just wanted to say that thank you for coming. Thank you for listening today. I really hope that in all of the things that I was saying, something landed and dropped, that a seed dropped into your soul that's going to transform your life forever. I want you to win. I want you to succeed. Because that's what you were made for. And I have plenty of resources on my website. Take a look at them. I have a digital course that's there that's called The Big Shift. Now, this shift, the big shift, is for people that are really interested in transforming their finances. It's a workbook that works through a lot of different things with the four M frameworks. So it looks at the mind, it looks on make, it looks at multiply, it looks at managing. And I really want, if you feel that you are ready to do the work, because there is work that was required, there's nothing that's ever going to come from from anywhere. Like I said to you, you can listen to everything, you can analyze anything, but you must put in the work. So if you feel that you are there, it's available on the website. Do take a look. There are different ways and different options. Do take a look and, purchase. But also, I have a lot of free resources. I have Sunday Seeds, a newsletter that comes out every Sunday to encourage you. We've got these sessions, and I will not leave your children out. I've got children's books to start to get the conversation going, because our children are not going to be broke. They are going to be wealthy, and so are you. So thank you so much for joining me today.